Hey everybody, how you doing? We're having a little technical difficulty here. I've got a guest sitting on the backstage right now, but we've been trying to iron out some issues, and hopefully we get it straight. Um, Good to see you all are in here. Please hit that like button. That helps me out immensely. And just so you know, we have the three topics of the day, and the first one's going to be: Are we getting deep on positions in the draft need? Or we going to just get what we need? We getting deep or we getting a need? What's our priority? And the second one, if we trade back, who's the likely teams that we're going to trade back to? Are we going to do it one time, two times, three times? You guys will be telling us. We'll give our takes, and then it's all on you guys. Good to see everybody. Sacktown Raider Mike, good to see you in. Nicole Williams. Who's Nicole? Nicole Williams. I bet, I bet you know Blue. I bet you know Blue. And then the third topic is, where do you think Sanders is going to end up? Which is right now it's a toss up. It's craziness. All right. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and give you my take on the first one. And the first one is getting deep on positions or drafting need. I'm telling you right now, it this draft is going to be a flat out hot mess. Um, I think one, two, and three are probably as solid as it gets, but after that, it's just going to be blurry. Um, to be honest with you, I think for us, I don't think a Super Bowl is in our future this year, even though we did a lot of good things. I just don't think. I think we need to build heavy. So I would say we draft for depth instead of just drafting for needs this year. That's my take. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up Blue Richards to come up and be my guest and get her take on it, and then it's going to be on you. Hey, Blue, how you doing? For needs this year. That's my take. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up Blue Richards to come up and be my guest.
Hi everyone. Is there a lag? Testing?
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. Hi. Yep.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we were having
There's like a
issues.
serious lag on my
Huge,
side.
huge lag between the two of them. Huge lag between the two of them.
Yeah, let me try. Hold on. I'm gonna pop off. I'm gonna try going on from the IG. See if that works better.
Okay, go ahead and do that. I'll pop you off here real quick, and then we'll go from there. So anyhow, hey, is everybody hearing me okay? Is everything good? Is it choppy, weird? Got any issues? Anybody got issues with that? Because I'm gonna go ahead and pop up the YouTube channel and just take a look, because I'm kind of like a one man arsenal here. Let's see. Give me 1 second, folks. All right. You guys hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up in there, or a salute, or whatever it is you guys want to do, whatever it is. Okay. Okay, so Blue, I think Blue's having some technical difficulties of her own. We'll see what happens here. Here she comes. Oh, that's way better. I don't hear that buzzing sound.
Yeah, nice.
Something weird about that, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what the heck was going on, but it was driving me nuts too because I could barely hear you too. There was like a serious lag going on.
Yeah. And the thing is, we got on for a test last night and everything
Yeah.
was perfect. So it was a shock. I'm kind of glad we decided to get on just a few minutes early just to kind of try to figure it out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to.
how's everybody doing? Sacktown Raider Mike's here. LA Crash Dog, my favorite Marine in the world, is here. Of course, that's our two moderators right now. And then Rosetown he popped in the door as well, slid right in. So we got some good ones in here now. And Nicole, it's a pleasure to meet you. I assume that's family to you. Oh, you just shut yourself off, Blue. Oh man. So what do you guys think about the background picture there? Is that guy behind me okay? He's all right, isn't he? There she is. What'd you do? Push the wrong
I don't
button?
know. I told you I'm tech stupid.
Well, me too. Obviously. All right. So do you have YouTube open by any chance as well?
No.
Okay, so if you would pop YouTube open, just mute it. No,
Oh,
not gonna
okay. I
do that.
did have it on. Got
Okay.
it. It's going right now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because I'm using my phone right now. It'll be easier to interact with the chat if I have the Schmigigi open.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easier. Let's see. Oh, look, there's Jess / Chewy. How you doing? Good to see you. And there's AR. That's our Australian brother right there. You know who AR is, right? Blue?
Yes.
Nice.
Gotta hold this thing still. Oh my God.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's give send us the link. Send who the link? AR, you want to pop on? I can send you the link if you want to pop on. Just take me a second to grab it. Yes. All right. 1 second. Hot mess. Hot mess. All right.
Yeah, there's a lag.
Yeah. It's probably not going to get any better when AR pops on.
No. Blasted technology. It's only great when it works.
Yeah, no kidding. And my Wi-Fi connection's like through the roof good. It's fiber, so it shouldn't be on my end at all, but could just be on the end of the web server too.
Yeah.
Here, there's a link for you, bud. You want to pop on there? Put it in the chat. See, we're already making friends up in here, just like that. So, Nicole, a Raiders fan?
Oh God, no, she's a cow pie fan. But she's family, so I love her.
No.
No, I know. Nobody's perfect though. Nobody's perfect. It's okay.
Right. So she sports that number 4 jersey, I expect. Raph, you able to get on there, man? Okay. Well, we'll just continue on. There's only a few of us in here, I think. What, 5, 6, something like that. I can look, but I'm not. I got far too much other stuff to do. So, no effing way. What, the Dak jersey? No effing way. Is that what one? Women look better in Raider gear. There you go, Jess. Well said.
I agree. Yes.
Yep. My wife's a Panthers fan, so that kind of like light blue and white is kind of sexy, though. I'm just saying. But anyhow, I look nice. I do. Thanks, Rose. Appreciate that. So anyway, we're going to kick right into it. So my first topic was, I'm not trying to get too far into the draft stuff because it seems like everyone jersey makes my eyes pop. Oh, it's going to be a comedy show. Yep.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. Well, it's 93. You know what I mean? That's it. Is what it is. So. But anyway, the first one was, and I've been watching content all day. Oh, there he is. Damn. Hey, what's happening, brother? How you doing, man?
What's going on there, man? How are you, brother?
Hey, everybody say hey to AR, man. Throw him some love.
I'm sorry. Man? What's a lovely lady to my
This Blue, right? This is Blue Richards.
Yeah.
Blue Richards. Nice to
How's it going?
Hello.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
So,
everybody in the chat.
So I with Blue met her in the chat sports group and all that stuff first time we probably ever interacted. And I make these keychain lanyards, right? And she asked for some. So I sent her some, and I sent her an extra one. And I said, find a random veteran Marine and just give it to him.
Okay.
And it took her a little while to find in Vegas. She lives in Vegas. So took her a little while to find the right one, but the dude was just blown away by it. And so her and I we're fast friends,
okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, so I thought that was very cool. Yeah. So anyhow.
My cousin and her hubby got 2 of those lanyards, by the way.
Oh, nice. Sweet. Oh, that was one of the cowboy one that I had to make that you made me make. Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize.
That was tough crafting a cowboy's lanyard, but I guess when you sell them kind of for like a side business, you have to do whatever colors people ask for. So throwing it out there, the topics were. I'm trying to stay off the kind of the solid draft stuff, like who are we picking? I mean, one
Right.
through three is pretty much solid. We just don't know 2 and 3 which one's going where. It could be flip flop, but the big thing for me is the Raiders. It's kind of like, are we looking to just get depth in the draft? Or are we looking to draft need now? Considering, I mean, really, a Super Bowl is not in our future next year. No matter what we do, I firmly believe that.
Me too.
But what I want to do is I want to pass it over to Blue, let her give her take on what she thinks of that question, and then I'm going to turn it over to you, and then we're going to turn it over to the audience, and then I'm going to read through there and just put them on the screen, and we'll answer those guys. Okay, sound good?
Your
Works
show,
for me.
man.
Okay, good. All right, go ahead, Blue.
So I don't have a very exciting answer, but my answer is both. It never hurts to have depth in your team. I mean, because let's face it, shit happens throughout the season. It's nice to have, good that you can trust your backups as well. It doesn't do well to skip over the positions that you actually need, though, if there's a suitable pick available.
Sure.
So yeah, that's kind of my take on that. And like you said, we're not Super Bowl contenders, and we have so many needs right now. You might as well just do a little bit of both. What's the best available at the time? Is it something that's going to satisfy a need? Is it going to create depth for your team? Just kind of whatever's in your best interest at the time. I mean, we didn't need we didn't need Bowers when we picked him up. We had Mayer. So, but look at what a stud he turned out to be, So.
And he's made
That's my
Michael
take.
Mayer almost
My humble
redundant
opinion.
with that. He's made Michael Mayer almost redundant with our roster, right?
Pretty much. Yep. So, all right, Raph, what you got?
I'm sorry, who?
You.
You said Raph.
Well, AR. Go ahead, AR.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah,
So, thanks for having me on the panel.
it's all
Look,
good. man.
I agree with that. Like, whichever way we go, position-wise, like we've got holes everywhere. So, I've said it quite a few times, as long as we get somebody who's supposed to be ranged to go around that number 6 pick, like I'm good with whatever direction we go. Like there's quite a few players that will be there, like Mason Graham, like that Membo cat, and Genty, the guy everybody is on one side of the fence with or the other. I wouldn't be mad with it, as long as it's not like an Alex Leatherwood, Damon Arnett type deal where we're just reaching
Rob,
down the well.
him?
And
What's that?
Can you hear him?
I can hear him. Yeah.
I don't hear shit.
testing 1 2 3.
Yeah, I can hear you. AR, I can hear you fine.
Sorry,
Maybe
AR.
she's got me muted.
Must be me. I don't know.
Can you hear me? Testing 1 2 3.
She doesn't
there you
speak.
go. I can hear
She
you now.
doesn't speak Australian.
No,
No worries.
I hear you now.
Yeah. Hello.
Bye.
Damn, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
That's okay. Long story short, look, as long as we pick somebody that's generally the consensus is that they are ranged to go around that number 6 pick, like one of those top 10 prospects, I'm good with whatever direction. I was just saying before, I agree with that sentiment. We have holes everywhere. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's not like an Alex Leatherwood type deal where we're reaching down the well for someone who's like going to be a project developmental guy, like a Tyree Wilson type deal.
Mhm.
I'm done with that. I don't want to go that direction again, because since my time as a Raider fan started in 2009, and every first round pick that we selected that was not a game changer, a stud right from the rip. I'm talking Jacobs, Mack, Cooper, if you will, like all these other guys that we had to wait for them to develop. In that time frame, only one guy developed, and that's Colt Miller. every single one of these other first round guys that we either reached for or that we were waiting for them to develop year 2, year 3, year 4. They never did, or at least to the level of you expect from a first round selection. So that's not what I want. So long story short, I basically agree with you. Like I'm good with whatever direction we go, just as long as it's someone who's projected to go there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's
I absolutely agree. So so I got Jack Kenna sitting in the backstage as well. Maybe bring him in here and see if we can just screw up more stuff. How's that?
Sounds fun. Let's do it.
All right, Jack, you ready to go? Just shake your head. Yes, I can see you. Okay. All right. Here you go. Hey, everybody. Jack Kenna's on board.
Hey, salute nation.
Hey, Jack.
subject.
Hello, Blue. Oh, Nav. AR, my bud, man. Good seeing you, bro.
What's going on, man?
So the first question, we spoke about it last night. So give it what your thoughts are. I'm pretty sure I know where you're at on it.
Well, I see like only 3 players at pick number 6 is Mason Graham, Genty, or Membu. Or if it's not one of those guys, then I see it as a trade back.
Yeah.
And I can honestly, I can see like a trade back more than once. Because, AR just alluded to the fact that we have a lot of holes on this team. We lost a lot of starters this year. I mean, both linebackers gone. Starting cornerback gone. Starting free safety gone, on our defense. So we do have a lot of holes that we need to fill. We're not going to be able to do this in 1 year. That's for a fact. And, we need running backs. We need
understatement of the century.
Right? We need an ex wide receiver. So we need a ton of stuff to to reboot this team. And you can't do it with there's not one player we're not like the quarterback away. If we had a Jane Daniels like last year, to take this team like Washington to the playoffs. And so, yeah, I could see multiple trade backs, and I wouldn't be angry with that. I'd be happy with it, actually. So I just want depth. So Blue, you mentioned depth. I agree with that. AR, you mentioned we need a lot of players. I agree with that. And I hope the nation kind of understands that too, because there's not one player we're going to draft that's going to change the whole dynamics of this team.
Yeah.
If we draft well enough and we're lucky, it may. I mean, look what 2014 did.
Agreed. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we got 9 picks. So, I mean, we're going to hit on all of them. Then that's amazing.
But, yeah, if we draft smart.
Yeah, the one thing I liked about there was one comment that Spytek made that was interesting, because that whole press conference, he said nothing and said a lot at the same time. And the one thing is we're going to end up with a cool stack. That was the terminology, a cool stack. And I kind of tried to interpret that any way I possibly could. The cool stack, in my opinion, is a cool stack is going and getting more, but I mean, it's so hard to tell. I mean, I really don't want to push into the draft too hard because everybody's all over that, just speculating on it. But I would like to see what the chat thinks as far as, are we doing depth? Are we doing need? Are we doing a little bit of both? I think the 4 of us are kind of all intermingled in that. In we're kind of 50-50 on it, and we're kind of more of we're going to trust the process and just let it roll, right? You guys agree with that?
So
I agree with that, but
I'm a both.
Spytek, said, hey, you don't let good players walk out of your building, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that not his words?
Yep.
And then we let our best linebacker walk out of the building. Gone. I mean, it's not that huge of a contract. 3 years, $33 million with some incentives on that. It's Spillane. So that kind of hurt. So they're hearing about, like, Colton Miller, like, again, it's voluntary minicamp. He's a vet. So I don't care if he shows up or not, man. As a matter of fact, he shouldn't show up. But Colton Miller is only like $12 million this year. And then we got, Myers. He's at the end of his deal too.
Mayer.
So we need to re-sign him. So we have 2 players we need to re-sign. And, we look at our salary cap. I think we're at $43 million. So take about $9 or $10 million off of that to, like, to get the rookie class in with 9 picks. So we're at $33 million.
Yeah, I mean,
We need to extend, the cornerstones of our offense right now. It's like that changes everything up in what we're going to do in the draft. Our defense has already got, like, hammered. So we're going to start a lot of rookies next year, a lot of young guys. But I will say this, everyone's sleeping on Gainer, our linebacker.
Right.
I think he is a player that can step up. I've liked what I've seen from him. So at least as an off-ball linebacker, I can see him coming in there and performing an adequate job.
yeah.
I think Blue wanted to say something, didn't you?
Oh, Blue, you said the same thing?
She wanted to say something.
No, nothing
You're
exciting.
able to do this and know that you're pointing at the right one. I can't even do it. I got to.
I'm used to going opposite, so you
Yeah.
got to point the opposite direction if you're going right or left. So
Yeah, it's no. Wait, there. Wait, no. Yeah.
I
No,
think
I
Blue
just-
said that she disagreed, right?
I did not. I was just saying that I think the consensus among most of us is that really we just need both in the draft. As far as what you're talking about, whether we're going for depth or need, I think the vast majority, the consensus is that we need both. It's not just one or the other.
Jack, I hear what you're saying. It's actually you touch more on the defense than the offense. It's the offense. I think that's more of the problem as it stands. At least with the defense, we did address it via free agency. Mind you, we got more value than, like, say, the caliber of the players that we lost per se. But at the same time, look, I was sad to see the likes of Robert Spillane, Trayvon Morig, Nate Hobbs, even Clavon Chasen. That was my guy last year. It sucked to see them go, but at the same time, we went 4 and 13. What was it? What was that record? We only won 4 games.
Wins.
So
It was shitty.
exactly. Am I going to cry still over losing like parts of our roster that was responsible for only 4 wins? No.
And
Tear
AR
it down. Start again.
and
It's
AR.
not like it's not like that. Sorry, just one real quickly.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
not like any as good as those guys were. Sorry, my bad. I know it's your life. I know those guys were good players, but it's not like they were, say, the caliber of guys. Like, say, if we lost to Max Crosby or when we lost Khalil Mack, you know what I mean? Like, I like those guys, but at the same time, they're all replaceable. Sorry, that man's your
Sure, no. I was only going to say that record we had, it sucked even worse because we beat the Ravens. For crying out loud.
It gave us a false
Early
sense of
on,
hope.
you know what I mean? It gave us a false sense of security
Yeah.
right off the get-go, but we also lost to the Panthers, so it was kind of one of those. That last season was one of those, oh my God, bipolar. What are we doing? We were beating the good ones. We can't beat anybody else. It's
I didn't think our roster was that great to begin with, and like the coaching. Look, AP was my guy,
God.
but I mean, look. He didn't get the job done. We moved on from him now. So
Sure.
there was a lot of reasons to our demise last season. I was optimistic going into the season. I believed in AP, but not so much like, look, I don't think this roster is strong enough yet to take us to where we need to be. And I still don't believe that to be the fact. But at least now we've, as much as I liked AP as a person, like we've moved on from him to get a coaching staff that has credentials. And I still believe that we will be better in time, but I believe it's going to take that time. You know what I'm saying? Like this roster is just like until they prove me otherwise, and I'm hoping they prove me otherwise. If they could right from the rip, we're all going to be happy, right? That's the bullseye.
For sure.
But we're leaning for that to be the case on a lot of these second, third year guys to really take that leap that haven't yet, they haven't established themselves. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at once again with the draft to hit it out of the ballpark and find at least 3-4 starters. You know what I mean? And good starters, not just starters by default or starters because we got nobody else. So there's a lot of factors that have to come into play for us to be successful right from the jump. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm going to stay in hold fast mode and give them time to really remedy us to where we need to be. And I encourage everybody else to do the same. Don't, as long as it's not like a full nosedive like it had been with Josh McDaniels era.
Oh God.
Then just give them time, and I'm sure we'll get to where we need to be.
Yeah, I fully agree. And if somebody tells me next year, damn, if we'd have got Genty, we would have won the Super Bowl. I'm like, that's a great problem to have. You know what I mean? In my opinion, but I don't think that's going to be a conversation. You know, it's so it's just do I love Genty? Do I think if we were in the right spot, you know what I mean, and everything else was right, that dude is chiseled out of the side of a mountain, and everything he does and says is right. And if anybody is proven, he's proven. I don't care what conference the dude was in, but it's just not time for us. We're drafting in a really bad period of time where we actually have an opportunity to get that guy, and when it's that guy and you have all these other needs, you can't get that guy because
why not?
You can. And if we do, I'm happy about it. I'm not sweating. I'm just saying it's just one of those where, man, that dude's a freaking beast. I watched lots of freaking game on him, and man, that 1,700 yards after first contact is crazy. I mean, that's nuts. And but I mean, it just depends on. And again, I don't want to talk draft too much. I mean, that's kind of not really the focus, but it's kind of like one of those that the topic was more: are we doing need or are we doing depth? Need would be Genty. Depth
but
would be
he's ranged to be the best player available at that spot, as well as this. A lot of people have highlighted this running back room is the strongest for a while, and that Genty is supposed to be the best of the bunch. So why are we going to say no if he's the best player in a very covered running back room?
Yeah,
and we need one,
and going to do, and we need one. We
Yeah.
were literally the worst by a bullet running back room in the rushing attack in the league. The worst running back room the Raiders have ever had. Name me one that was worse than last year's one. So why not address that with the best player available?
sure.
I agree.
Why not?
If we can get
I
him,
don't
yeah.
understand.
I can't argue with that, AR, at all. It's like, but I can also see, like, you know, again, what are they going to do with Colton Miller? He's only getting $12 million, no guaranteed money. He played last year with no guaranteed money. We all know we all want him back, but you know, Spytek said, "Hey, we don't let good players walk out of the building," and Spillane walked out of the building, and we're not going to address that until after the draft.
Right.
Which I get it. It's like it's a tactical move, but if he goes, then we have a huge hole. Then I see Membu 100%. But overall, it's like, you know, if we just keep it the way it's going to, we re-sign Miller, we get Myers back, and then, you know, we take like a guy like Mason Graham in the second round. Now we're talking ultra legit. One of the
Mason Graham's the second round.
Mason Graham's not a second round pick.
No,
He's not sliding that far.
there's no.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not saying Mason Graham at number 6. Now we're talking like, you know, we're rivaling the Eagles on the defensive line front, like, and putting pressure on the quarterbacks. We have a lot of good quarterbacks in our division. And the Chargers boosted their offensive line. They even got the guy that what's his name from the Jets that went to the Eagles. Now he's going to be a right guard for the Chargers. Chargers like updated their offensive line. It's going to be super good. Denver was like top 4 or 5 last year on the offensive line. And that's just a counter move. It's a counter move versus those guys. And we can get a running back in the 2nd round or maybe the 3rd round. I mean, honestly, I'd go Raiders 2nd round on a running back versus anything else because it's a position of like need and want. And I see like, with Chip Kelly, like, got Junkins out there. You got Henderson out there. Guys that played with him. Ohio State.
I don't disagree, Chuck.
Yeah, I was going to say, but we need a running back. So if he's available and we know he's the best, why not snag him?
Especially if there's no other nothing else that's a greater need. I fully agree with you guys.
We have 8 more picks to address all these other areas.
Exactly.
Like, it's not like if we. I just feel like when I hear people saying we know to Genty and that we should go for other areas of need, that is like I feel like it sounds to me. It's like, well, do you guys understand? We've got a whole bunch of draft picks. We've got 8 other picks to be able to address those holes. It's not like that's like once we get Genty, that's it. Like that's the only player we're getting. That's the only opportunity to address those other areas of need.
Right. It's not the only pick. It's not it.
It's not the only pick. We have 8 other chances as it stands if we don't trade for more picks to address these other areas. And did I hear you correctly? You wanted to get Mason Graham, Jack?
Yes.
I think that's what he said, yeah.
So let me get this straight. So we're going to bypass what is likely the BPA at a position of high need to get. Maybe he's a great prospect, but like we're good on the defensive line. That's the strongest area of our. That's the only strong area of our team.
I agree.
So we're going to bypass like an elite talent like Genty at a very high position of need to get a guy who's probably, just another piece. Maybe he might be great. I'm not saying he won't be, but it's
another
like
piece. I think he's.
I'm just trying to get the logic to that. I don't understand.
Okay, well then let me answer that logic. Like his comp is Christian Wilkerson, who we just spent like $110 million on.
Christian Wilkerson.
So you get 2 of those guys out there.
Yeah.
At the same time, and solidify that line. Like again, I brought up the offensive line, what's going on with Denver, and I brought up with the Chargers. I'm going to do that mock draft tomorrow night with those guys on the Wild Wild West show. It's like their offensive lines are good, and the chart and Kansas City's going to address that too. That's what they're going after. So it is our strongest position, but why not make it great? So someone who's going to play for 10 years versus a running back that might be 6 or 7 years. And then you can look at the running backs that are out there. I mean, there's 14 starting running backs that are going to be out there. We can address it in round 2, and we can get a Chip Kelly guy like Henderson or Junkins in round 2. Someone he's comfortable with, someone he knows. Yes, I know Genty's can be potentially the baddest ass motherfucker in a long time, but it is just such a deep draft. Have you guys ever seen, any of you, nation, have you guys ever seen a deeper running back classroom than this one?
Then why are we saying no to the best of the bunch?
It was just
why are we saying no to the best of the? If this is the deepest in a long time, we're going to say no. And you're saying like that he's likely going to be around for 10 years. Name the last Raider that played 10 years for the Raiders. Yeah, exactly.
Give me a second.
So I guess I need to pat myself on the back.
I'll give you a minute. You still have to think about that. Exactly to my point.
I guess I need to pat myself on the back.
The last one has probably been Charles Woodson.
I think I need to pat myself on the back for creating this topic because it caused a lot of back and forth, and I love that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's exactly what I want. But in the chat, if you guys are actually asking a question to us, please put a question mark at the end so that I can see that it's actually a question. Because
it could be Colton Miller now. I mean, if they resign him, I'll extend him.
Look, I get your point to a point, like that there is other running backs available down the line. I do understand that. So yeah, I will finish on that.
There's other running backs available, but the delta between Omarion Hampton, Travion Henderson, and Genty is huge. It's a huge delta between those guys, in my opinion. From what I've been watching, it's Judkins as well. The delta is huge between those running backs, in my opinion. If we're going to get a running back at 6, it's going to be Genty. And if that's the plan, it needs to be Genty, because if you're going to do that, if you're going to go running back in a low round, then you may as well get the dude. That's my opinion. That's all. So I'm going to let you guys drive this a little bit more. I'm just going to, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to move on to the next topic, because it doesn't seem like anybody's really kind of going any further with that one. So the next topic is, if we were to trade back, what teams are we messing with? And Blue, I'm going to let you go first on that. We'll just go just the way we did before, huh?
All right. If we decide to trade back, I don't want to go much further than like 10th, 9th, somewhere in that range. That's my humble opinion. So that being said, the teams that we would be most likely to trade with would be somebody like potentially the Bears, maybe the Saints, depending on who's available at the time and if it's anybody that they want, and possibly San Francisco. So that's my hot take.
There you go. All right. AR, on you, buddy.
Just to where's the Flags comment. Like I respect your opinion, and I understand your points. And I wasn't just talking about like running back. I was talking about every position. Like, name the last Raider who played 10 years with the Raiders. I mean, Charles Woodson, and then who? Like, they players that come into the Raiders organization. We're lucky to get a guy who sticks around for past 4 or 5 seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't come around that often. That's all I was trying to say. But I respect your opinion. As for trading back, I don't care who. If we were to do it, as long as we get the best available value possible. If that's the go. But I would like us to take the best player available at whatever pick we do pick at. And we have 9 picks already. So if we hold fast with what we've got, I'm good with that. But if we do trade, then look, just as long as we get good value, I don't care who. Don't care.
Boom. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. Kickers and punters. Just kickers and punters. Sacktown. Just get some kickers and punters. Get some long snappers going. In the first
that's
round.
one position where we're actually outside the line. We're actually pretty good, and we've been good at for the longest time. Like, despite our struggles over the course of our history, like, usually special teams, specifically kicker, punter, and long snapper, we're usually pretty good at. That's a luxury. We're okay.
Got a huge bee flying around in here, so if you see me running around like an idiot, that's why. All right, Jack. So what you got on that subject? Trade back.
On trade backs, it depends, like the players that fall to us at number 6.
Yeah,
that's true.
So if Sanders falls down to number 6, Blue, I agree. I think we can go back to number 9 with New Orleans, because again, I don't see the Jets, I don't see the Panthers wanting a running back, and we could still get Genty at that same pick. Then I see Dallas. We all know Jerry Jones.
Oh God.
Jerry Jones loves what Jerry Jones does. So I can see him wanting to move up from number 12 to number 9 to get a Genty. And there's one last one. It's like the wild card is like the Bears, like number 10.
Yeah.
Like, who knows what they're going to do, what they're going to offer. But I could see 2 trade backs in round number 1. And just, again, what AR just said, to take the best player available at that point.
Yeah. And also wait for a phone call.
Yeah. Oh, there's going to be plenty of those there's going to be plenty of phone calls.
I'm just saying, as opposed to us reaching out to other teams, you know what I mean? Wait for them to come to us.
I don't see the way this staff has been operating, how quiet they've been operating throughout this entire thing. I don't see them reaching out to anyone.
Oh, no, neither do I. I'm just saying.
Yep. Oh, agreed. I agree with you. So let's see. That's what I'm saying, AR. What part?
We would. You know how he was the one who posted salute to you, Sacktown, about kickers and punters. And
kickers
as a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's like he was saying, because I said that's usually a position where we've been always stout at. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Jack.
Yeah, but to be perfectly honest with you, I mean, I'm not even sure who our long snapper is, because JPJ sucks at it. Huh?
JPJ's never been our long snapper.
No, I'm just saying he's just not good. He said the one thing I can't do well is long snapping.
Yeah, Bob and Meyer is our long snapper. Well,
okay.
As long as you're not noticing the long snapper for the wrong reasons, that means he's doing his job. So we're okay.
Yeah. Right? If you don't know who it is, then they're good. You don't need another one.
Right.
Yep. All right. So wait a second. Let me catch up the chat here. Hey, Blue. Best of luck.
Mm-hmm. With the Seahawks 2.0.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I was typing. I was responding.
Oh man. Somebody popping in on you.
Yep.
I meant if not, I am. We trade. Do you think? I think it went back to this one.
Money Chuck also put in questions.
You did? Yeah, I think we got that one, but I think I might have missed one. Hold on.
I think
was it here?
Well, the second part of the question, do you think in any other draft we could expect a future first round draft at the least?
Right. So then I meant if not him, right? If not him.
Not in this draft. I mean, if there was quarterbacks up like last year, then maybe, but not this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I concur.
Can I ask Sacktown a question since he just put up a post? He just said Kondo was a great Raider long snapper. Yes, he was. And I'll ask it, all you guys just real quickly, since we're talking about long snappers. Does anybody remember Travis Gaethel? No. Does anybody remember the home opener 2012 when Kondo was injured and we chucked in our special teams linebacker to be long snapper, and it was an absolute disaster?
Yeah.
To my point about what I said before, like, as long as you're not noticing the long snapper, they're doing A-okay. But let me take you back to 2012. So our home opener, we were actually right in the game until we lost our long snapper, and we had to chuck in Travis Gaethel, a depth guy, special teamer, to take long snaps. It was an absolute disaster. We had like 2 or 3 of the balls. You know how they usually go straight to they were rolling along the ground, along the dirt like it was tunnel ball. And then I think 1 or 2 of them got blocked by the defensive unit. It was a calamity. So it goes back to my point about what I was saying. As long as you don't notice the long snapper, we're good. And that was case in point.
I will say that's pretty impressive. Good job, AR.
Love that, man. Some nostalgia. Well, it's kind of like something I ran into today. So my old
Go
insurance-
YouTube the highlights of that game, 2012 home
yeah.
opener versus the Chargers after this. Anyway,
I
sorry.
remember what you're talking about. I just didn't
Right.
remember the names. Dude,
All for the wrong reasons, right?
yeah, exactly. But it was funny. I actually might have an OG be able to pop on here at some point, like a serious OG. Anybody remember the last name Jager?
Who?
For the Raiders?
Who?
Did you say
Jager.
Baker? Oh,
Jager.
Oh,
Jager.
Oh, Jeff
Jager.
Yeager. Yeah, the
Jager.
the place maker. Yeah.
Jeff Jager.
Before there was Seabass, there was Jeff Yeager. Yeah.
Yeah. My insurance agent, that's actually her brother.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. Is it
So,
Jager or Yeager?
Jaeger, I think. I thought.
Kim,
Jaeger.
yeah, she's Kim Jager.
Oh,
Wasn't his
And
number
so-
15?
No, he was like 6, 18, and 7 or something like that. There were like 3 different numbers he carried around. But it would be kind of cool because I mean this guy was born in like 1964. You know what I mean? So it'd be kind of cool to get his take, I think, on some of the stuff that was going on in the Raiders.
So what did you say
know,
his
when-
sister's name was?
his sister's name's Kim.
Kim Yeager.
Yeah. So,
What a name.
We've had great kickers over the,
Yeah, they
his
are all
big
about
guy.
what's the sister's name? Anyway.
No, just the name. Anyway, sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
So
Don't
anyhow, yeah, off subject and stuff. Hold on, let me pop here real quick. Yeah, no worries, Chuck. That wouldn't mean anything big on you, man. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's all good. All right. So we're gonna pop on to the last one, and then we'll just open up the chat and just everybody put a question mark at the end of your what looks like a statement, and then if it's a question, we'll answer it, right? So we already kind of went here. Where do you think Sanders is going to go? And if you think it's the Saints at 9,
Maybe.
what do you make of DC's mysterious injury? That's the next one. Go ahead, Blue.
so interesting thing. I was looking at a couple of the sports books, and the top pick or the top prospective destination for him is the Steelers. If he falls down that far, the Steelers are at 21. And then the other 2 perspectives would have been the Browns and the Giants, but not in the first round. They were suggesting that it might be the second round. Maybe they'll trade up for him or leave it at 30, whatever they are. And then potentially the Saints, but the Saints also drop down in favor as well. They're like at plus 550 or something like that, versus plus 190 with the Steelers. Given Carr's mysterious injury and potential surgery, to me personally, it's a reach to relate that to the Raiders really at all, because I don't think Sanders is going to go at number 9. So I don't see the Saints trying to trade up specifically for him. But I do know that him and the Saints and the Steelers both need a quarterback. So, I mean, there's a potential. I just don't really see the Saints picking him up. They might, but that's just my humble opinion. I don't see them taking him at 9. Maybe if he's available, but
Right.
I don't know. The quarterback room is just quarterback picks are just so weak. They might take Dart, maybe. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. What you got?
Let me go last, if I can.
Oh, you want to go? Oh, because you want to wait for
Changing it
Kevin
up.
to screw it up.
No.
That's what we do.
My take's going to be short and sweet. So just no matter what Jack says. So
Go ahead, Jack.
Love you, bro.
he said, "Go ahead."
Jack.
Oh, you want me to go ahead? Okay.
Yeah. He's
I'll
skipped.
have to.
I can see the Saints, doing that. And I can absolutely see the Steelers doing that. It's like they need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Both those teams need a quarterback. With the Carr injury, good for you, Carr. I'm a Carr guy. So when he was on the Raiders, I liked Derek Carr. I'm Derek Carr guy. So, him getting kicked to the curb because of McShitnuts. And now it's like, he's on that team. And his injury, which he could have had a surgery if he needed surgery, he could have had surgery months ago. He doesn't want to be there anymore. So wherever he ends up, good for you, bro. I'm Derek Carr guy. So, but yes, I do see both those teams. And again, that's part of what I said. I could see the Saints trading up to the Raiders number 6, us trading back and acquiring extra draft capital to get a Sanders. Because again, you look who's out there, who's in the Saints locker room.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, it's not good. So it's not going to be what, Dion wants. What he says, I want my son to sit for a year and develop, but hey, it's going to be a potential trade pick for us and still get what you guys want in Genty. So at number 9, I can't argue with that. It's like, it's not a bad move.
Yeah, go ahead, AR.
All right, so my answer is this, and it stems from like I love American football because I love my Raiders. You guys see the hat, the flag, what I'm saying? You see me doing content and that. With that said, and this is all due respect to anybody, like this is just my personal opinion because I'm a diehard Raider fan. If he's not a Raider, I don't care. I don't care where he goes. I don't care who drafts him. The hell with him. And respectfully, I love Derek Carr's a Raider. Once a Raider, always a Raider. But he ain't a Raider anymore, so I don't care about him either. Saint Raiders, I don't give a shit.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Just to finish this up, I have a hot take though. I mean, it's stupid. So, the Saints, whether we trade back or not, no matter what we do, we don't take Sanders, and Sanders falls to 9. And the Saints take Sanders, and then Derek Carr goes to the Steelers.
Again, so what though?
Right.
Again, so what?
Agreed.
Right.
So what?
But the point being, it's the Steelers are screwed right now.
They'll be screwed again with him.
They're being held prisoner by a freaking has-been. So it's those dudes are going to be desperate real soon. So anyway, that's just I get what you're saying, AR. It's just philosophy and a theory of the NFL together.
Sorry, if it ain't Raider football, don't give a shit.
I'm with you. I get you. And we've been down this road before, and I'm with you.
I only care if it impacts us, which
right.
his situation right now, or if he goes to the it like I was saying, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't impact us directly. Like I said, the only reach I could see is maybe potentially losing him. The Saints want to trade with us, but even then, that's not really him impacting us. We're not taking him back, and wherever he goes, so what? He's not taking you to the promised land, so really, who cares?
I agree with that 100%. Like, I guess the only flip side of that, like, I guess, like, just spitballing, because I shared a panel with Jeff. Shout out to Jeff, Raider Jeff. You guys all know him. We were talking about like our favorite draft memories and our least favorite draft memories as a side topic, and he was talking about how we passed up on Aaron Rodgers to go. We picked
maybe in Washington,
I believe that year. And Aaron Rodgers went to Green Bay, but we weren't the only. I highlighted him as like, well, we weren't the only team to pass up on him. Like he went in the mid-20s or the early 20s. It was a later down the line pick. Yeah. But to that point, like if Shedeur Sanders goes on to have a stellar career, I'm just saying if, and I hate playing hypotheticals. You know me, Jack. Like that's the only time when I guess we'll come back to it years down the later if we pass on him. But until that happens, I don't care.
Yep,
I agree. I agree, AR. Like, my favorite draft memory is like thinking about it, it's like, Bo Jackson came out and he got drafted #1 overall, and he didn't say, nope, not going to do that. I think it was Minnesota. And then the next year, the Raiders took him in the 7th round. When they shortened the rounds, like, from like 12 rounds to 8 or 9 rounds, whatever it was back then in the day. And we got Bo Jackson with our last draft pick. It was the #1 overall. I got to say, that's my favorite draft moment. That was really, really, really cool. And pair him up with Marcus Allen. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. So let me I'll just throw a challenge flag right now. All right. Since we're kind of done with the topics, I think, and there's not a whole lot of questions in the chat. Is any of you guys on YouTube, can you see the amount of participants we have in here? I'm trying to do it without breaking anything. But, so I'm pretty sure WTF's still here. I'm 100% sure Sacktown's here. Wrath. Oh, we just lost our AR.
Oh,
I'm sure Sacktown's here.
yeah,
My boy.
Just lost AR.
Oh yeah.
So, how about this? Raider Nation, anyone going to Bakersfield on May 17th? I'm going with Sacktown. Me and Sacktown are riding together, rooming together, doing that event. Anyone else going out there?
I'm gonna try to. It depends on scheduling and stuff like that. But
Blue,
I might
I
might be able to scoot on out there though.
So Blue, I'm in Sacramento, like Sacktown. So again, Sacramento. Where are you from,
Yeah,
girl?
he was telling me. I'm sorry. Oh, I live in Vegas.
Okay, you're ways
So you
away.
can imagine my happiness when the Raiders came here.
Absolutely.
Crash Dog making that paper. That's what he's doing. Crash Dog's making that paper right now. That's what he's doing.
Glad one of us is.
No shit, right? I'm not yet.
Oh, whatever. I don't want to hear it.
Come on now. Yes, I do have a job. It's not. It's not all the time job, but it's. I have like 3 small businesses I have way too much invested in. So, and one of them's gonna have to go. So, yeah. So I'm trying to figure out which one that is. Just lost Jack. He's stuck in the cornfield.
I see him. Oh yeah. Oh, did he pop off? Yep, he did. What happened? Where'd everybody go?
Oh, I think they decided it was over. I said I was throwing the challenge flag. I didn't say I was throwing the freaking checkered flag.
Oh wait, somebody's popping back on. There's Jack.
There we go. Yeah.
AR, where'd you go?
So here's the challenge flag. Since the 3 of you on here with me for the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's Money Chuck too. All right, cool. All right. Now we're going to get this page blown up. Okay. Thanks, brother. WTF is the man. You want to hear a funny story about WTF?
Of course.
He didn't realize his name was WTF until I said WTF to him.
Oh God.
In the chat on another channel.
Nice.
It was hilarious. And then the other part was he changed him and no, it wasn't him. It was Buena and Ardell decided they were going to change their names. Ardell changed his name to Navman's old lady, and shit, I think Bueno was what Bueno. Come on, help me out. WTF, help. What'd he do? What was it? Jack?
I said IMB. It's like, that's what I call him. I'm no bueno.
IMB. Yeah, Bueno changed his name to Navman's old lady and realized he couldn't change it back. Yeah, Chunny Muck.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
That's
Don't tell your wife that, dude. She'll get pissed at him.
So he so me and Money Chuck were having a little bit of an issue at that point in time, which is completely resolved, no issues, right? So they were trying to just freaking like flip me shit, right? And they're like, oh crap, can't change our name back. So I kind of got stuck with it.
Well, I was wondering about your name. You know, I've always known you as 93 Nav, like, you know, for years.
Yeah.
You know, watching you on, you know, Mitch's show and then changing the name to this. I'm like, make sure everyone knows.
Well,
yeah, but who is that?
Well, I changed it. I changed it so that it equals the channel. You know what I mean? So, and what I do when I go on other channels, I immediately put in parentheses 93 Nav, and before I comment anything, I paste it in there. You know, so that everybody knows. You know, it's getting some traction now. So
that's good. I was going to say,
you guys help with that. That's awesome.
Dude, I just want to know how you woke up at 7 a.m. your time. When we got done talking, it was like 4 a.m. your time, like 2 a.m. my time.
Oh.
And I was like, I was done. I'm like, and you got up at 7 a.m. still?
Yeah, dogs. That's
It's at 7
You're a
a.m.
dog. You are a dog then, dude.
Dogs.
You got like 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a 7 in the morning.
Yeah. I've got my properties like yells at me, says fix me. And
Nice.
yeah. So it's one of those.
Oh, hey, just a heads up. AR said that his internet cuts, but that he'll be right back.
I did see that. See that. So we'll go to the next subject, which I've started to go to, and then WTF always it's WTF to me even now, right? Right. I said, I'm sorry I freaking like rocked your world there, bro, but I'm a Navy dude, I'm a military dude, and acronyms are like how I live, you know. And so anyway, so let's do this. Starting with, I'm not even going to say anything because you can look right behind me in my background and you can see who my number one is. But top 5 Raiders of all time, Blue, you start. And
oh, son of a bitch. No, I'll go last on that one.
Oh, shit. Kenna, go.
Well, I'm going to make it easy for everybody.
They don't have to be in order. Don't have to be in order.
No. Number 1 Raider all time. And then we can debate on the guys behind him is Jim Otto.
Oh.
Jim Otto, the 00. The 00 we saw in the helmets last year. Jim Otto is by far, in my mind, the best Raiders player ever. And there's so many good, great, not good, but great players, Hall of Fame players behind him. You know, man, you could throw darts at that shit. And AR already knows this, like, you know, in my mindset, Jim Otto is the number 1 Raider in Raiders history. So
welcome back.
I didn't thank you. I didn't say that, Jack, respectfully.
Well, you didn't say that, but I'm saying
it's
that.
before my time. It's before my time.
I saw him on a black and white TV, and then my first game was 1975. So I never even saw him live. So I just saw him on TV. But I will say Jim Otto is by far the best Raiders player ever.
Okay.
And anyone can say what they want to say. Please pick a player that's above Jim Otto.
Bo Jackson.
Oh,
is he Hall of Fame?
Did I say he was?
No.
Oh,
you said best Raiders player ever.
Can I have a take on that?
Please.
You guys don't mind?
Please do.
I'm respectfully, I'm probably going to have to agree with Jack in terms of overall greatness with Jim Otto. You could consider him as one of the greatest Raiders of all time. However, to your point, Blue, like there is not, and I mean this with anybody at all who's donned the silver and black colors, there's not one Raider who's transcended the
wrong.
game more than Bo Jackson. Let me give you some clarity to that, right? I'm in Australia, as you guys know. I can go to my local sports store and go find myself a Bo Jackson jersey. And he hasn't been in the league for over what? It's been 40 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was only around for a short time too, right?
Well, he played other
That's how-
sports.
Right. But to my point, like in terms of overall production, he
Mhm.
was here for a good time, not a long time, because what happened, unfortunately.
Right.
So I get what Jack's saying, like in terms of like overall production, what he did over a longevity amount of time,
Mhm.
you're on the money, Jack. But in terms of like say greatness that transcends the sport, there's a reason why I can go to my local store, which is, you know, just down the road. I can cop myself a Bo Jackson jersey because that's how far his reach is when it comes to how much he transcended the sport, even though it wasn't a long time. So, yeah, I just want to say that.
Well, but
I love me some Bo, though.
Everybody does. Everybody does.
Everyone
yeah.
does.
Yeah.
So,
So,
AR,
Blue-
that makes a good question. So if you're going to take a running back, again, you got the same span, and Marcus Allen or a Bo Jackson, who you taking?
Bo Jackson.
Yeah, I was just about.
My
me
question
to
wasn't
it,
to
but
you
yeah.
guys. It was this guy
It's
right
all right.
here.
Oh, sorry.
Am I talking on talent alone, or just like whose career am I taking?
Career. It's like, you know, like who's the best Raiders running back? It's like, again, I agree. Bo Jackson had more talent than anybody.
Right.
I mean, that guy could have played. You could put him at linebacker. You could put him at defensive back. You could put him anywhere. He's probably the most gifted athlete I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
Right.
he was just a phenomenally talented, like sports inclined person.
And this ain't like the video game that you play, AR. So
Yeah, I know. So you're asking me who, if I was to draft one of them or pick one of them, what are you trying to ask?
yeah, I want to know who you want to, like, you know, keep. Again, we saw what their careers were.
Okay, all
In a
right.
limited
Let me
amount of time.
answer. Let me answer it like this then, I guess. If we were in a contention kind of period, and we know that we're only going to get what the Raiders got out of him. How long was he in the league for? 3 years, right?
Damn, is that short?
Was
think
it
he
3 or
got-
4? Okay,
I
so
think he
if
got
we're
hurt
in
in fourth year.
if we're in a period of time where we can be in contention to make a push or even win a Super Bowl, then you can't go past Bo. Like if you know you're only going to get 4 years out of him. However, if you wanted to go for longevity because you believe that like you're still going to get a great player, but like he's going to last longer, and in turn because he's around longer, he's going to accumulate more production, then of course you'd have to go with Marcus Allen. So that's my answer. Like, but look, hindsight's all great, 50-50, you know what I mean, when you look back and see what happened and what could have been, what was, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Can't argue, man. It's like that. Bo was just so phenomenal. It's like literally, like, honestly, probably the most phenomenal athlete the Raiders have ever had in their history. So
Yeah.
I can't argue with that.
Can I ask a question? Since I don't know, I kind of cut out, but like I know that Jack was just touching up on it real briefly, and it's a question that I asked Jeff, and it made for a fun topic of discussion. Unless you wanted to go in a different direction, because this is your live, you know what I'm saying? I asked him when we were live the other night. Thank you. What was your favorite draft memory, whether it be a player that we selected or just a moment? And it made for interesting conversation. So I just wanted to get like your guys's. Like, if you to think back in your time as being a fan and think back to a moment where you're like, you know what, like that's the memory that stands out for me, whether it be a player we selected or whatever it may be. So, do you guys want to answer that?
I do. I do want to answer that because you know what, it was super cool. I was at my wife's family's reunion, and there's like 70 of them, and we were watching the draft, and it was Charles Woodson.
Nice.
Seeing
Hell yeah.
Charles Woodson get drafted is like, wow. I'm like,
Right behind me.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
That
what
was
about
huge.
you? What about you, Blue?
That's a great question.
With no hindsight, no like, it didn't pan out for us, but at the time, how it made you feel. So, first one that
I'm
comes to
trying to
mind.
think. No, I'm trying to think about that because look, this is full disclosure. As far as college ball goes, I don't follow it. I really don't. The only team that I follow is the UNLV Rebels, and that's just because that's my undergraduate alma mater. So I never really paid attention to it. But I'm trying to think of
Was there ever a
somebody.
moment you were like, they selected someone you were happy, the happiest you ever were?
I'm trying to think of like who I knew in college that was like really good that I was looking forward to, and then we got them, and there just really isn't. I mean, just because like I said, I don't really follow college ball. I'm trying to. Huh?
Is there any happy moment that you had? Like just the first thing that comes to mind, like when it's draft related, draft day, something that's your just a happy moment.
Okay, well, I was happy when they got Brock Bowers.
There you
Thank
go.
you. I because I had heard a lot about him, and I knew he had some really great stats. Again, this is just what I heard about him at the time. I didn't know what he was going to become.
Hey, that works.
But when we got him, I was like, all right, cool. I'm actually really happy about that.
Thank you. Good answer.
That was actually one of the best picks we picked up in a long damn time.
Oh God, yeah. Agreed.
To be perfectly honest with you, yeah, a lot of people thought we lost out on something, but look at that. I mean, ridiculous. Right. The quarterback room, the offensive line in the peril it was in, and the coordinator we had, and that dude broke freaking rookie receiving records for a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Imagine what he can do. Throw him the football.
Dude, could you imagine what he could have done with a team like KC or something? I mean, fuck KC, I get that, but still, I'm just saying, with a team that doesn't have its head stuck up its ass.
Yeah, imagine
what he could have done.
Think about the Eagles.
Yeah,
like that,
or the Ravens. Yeah,
that dude would have freaking blasted everything.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? What about you, Nav, man? And just before I get your answer, how long have you been following the Raiders for passionately?
Since 1971.
Okay, so you've watched a lot of drafts.
Damn, Nav.
In that time, right?
Yeah, well, I was born in 1971. My dad said you're a Raider.
Okay, got you. So in that time frame, from then till now, the first thing that comes to mind, what was your happiest draft selection or draft moment?
Charles Woodson. It was because it was the and the thing is, it was one of those where I was just getting like the passion for it. You know what I mean? I'm a fan because my dad, and I watched it and I was a fan and everything, but I finally started realizing I needed to watch what's coming and see what needs to come. And I was all over it. I'm like, this dude from Michigan, I'm not a big fan of the Wolverines, but this dude is a game changer. And when that draft happened, I'm like, yeah, that's the best draft memory for me. And
that's what's up.
And a dude that is that freaking badass balls his eyes out that he's drafted. That the humility, and all of the, and still had a chip on his shoulder for whatever reason. He had no business having a chip on his shoulder after winning the Heisman. He had no business. It's just like but he still treated the game like he had to prove himself every single day. And when he put the silver and black on, he instilled that in every single player that walked through the door. And
absolutely,
that's the kind of crap that I like. And that's why because I'm telling you what, JPJ, if I put it in a top 10, JPJ would be like that, the one that came out of of the first round that we got that is, outside of the first round, that right there is a game changer. That dude's nasty mindset and how smart he is, from center. If we can just move that nastiness left and right, holy crap, man. That's Raider. That's old school Raider crap.
That's Otto right there, right? That's like your resurrection of Jim Otto.
Yeah, I can take a 15-yard penalty from my center for being
I don't care about
aggressive.
Can I give my answer?
AR, I want your opinion. I want your opinion on that. And then I have a question, a backup question after you answer the question you asked all of us. Would you want a Travis Hunter who's super gifted, like a Charles Woodson, right? Charles Woodson's like the last guy I could see like playing both ways. Would you rather have a Travis Hunter or a Charles Woodson after you answered that question?
Would I rather Travis Hunter or Charles Woodson?
Yeah, no, I mean, Woodson was like one of the few players that can go both ways. The Raiders toyed with it for a little bit, but
are you asking me that question?
He's asking me. Let me answer that real. Let me answer that question real quickly. Like, and I think that's not fair for Travis Hunter because, respectfully, like, I mean, I can't answer that question anyway because I have not watched him play a snap. You know what I mean? And we already know Charles Woodson's full stop. We know how his career went at the elite level. We don't know what Travis Hunter can do. So that's not a fair question to ask, being that that's the case. We already know Charles Woodson and what he achieved, being, in my personal opinion, 1A and 1B with being the greatest Raider on the defensive side of the ball since the turn of the millennium. You know what I'm saying? There's one other guy that you can consider in the conversation, and I'm going to get to that point with my answer, right? So just bear with me.
Yep.
So you guys know, as I highlighted before, I'm a football guy, but specifically Raiders. I don't care for football outside of Raiders, including college. So sometimes I'll put on a game and I'll watch it, whatever. But like Raider football is what I will stop everything to watch and keep in the know about, right? But once upon a time, I did dabble in a little bit more football. I did like expand my reaches. I was watching a little bit more here and there, whether it be college or NFL. One day I was doing my housework around the house and I just had ESPN on in the living room and it was playing some random college game. It was between Ohio State, who was, I believe, won the state championship, the national championship that year, or they were in contention, and they were playing a smaller school by the name of Buffalo. I didn't even know they had a college. I know that they had an NFL team, right?
Yeah.
But then I started to watch it a little bit, and it was because there was this one guy that I could hear the commentators just saying over and over again. They kept repeating the name, and this guy was flying all over the field, making sacks, making run stops, single-handedly almost winning this no-name school, the game. He intercepted a screen pass and took it to the house 30 yards and outran the wide receivers and the running backs who were trying to chase him down.
You're talking
Mind you,
about
this is a linebacker. I will get there. So I was like, who is this guy who's just flying off the tape, who no one had ever heard of? That name was Khalil Mack. And I said to myself, I'm going to remember that name come draft time. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, like, I've never seen a player take over a college game like that ever, especially a no-name school, almost single-handedly winning them the game over a team that was competing for a national title. Fast forward to the draft, like half a year later. I'm in vacation in beautiful Bali. Like I had my Raider jersey on, my Darren McFadden jersey. I'm waiting for the draft to start. And my friends are like, oh, let's go out, let's do this. I'm like, no, I'm watching the draft. Like, I will stop everything and anything when it's my Raiders, and especially when they're drafting, right? So come the first round, like all these players are going off the boards. My guy, Khalil Mack, has just flown up all the mock drafts and all the draft boards all of a sudden just before the draft because of said performance and his combine. So I'm saying to myself, please take this guy. I know this guy. I know he was a stud in that one game. And I just have a good feeling this guy is going to be the guy we've been looking for. Sure enough, we took him, and I was so happy. I was like, yes, we took a guy I know that I saw, and I have 200% confidence that he's going to be great for us. And he was. He was greater than I could ever imagine. And back to what I said before, if someone was to debate with me who was the greatest defensive player on for the Raiders since the turn of the millennium, since the year 2000, it's 1A and 1B, Charles Woodson and Khalil Mack. So that's my answer.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can dispute that. To be honest with you.
No.
I hate the way that went. Let me go back to this real quick. Money Chuck threw this up there. I sadly have to admit I was hyped when we drafted Russell. Boy, was I wrong. How did you feel at that time? So
After his performance or when he was drafted?
When he was drafted, how did you feel? Blue.
No hindsight when he was drafted.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I was still, because he was so hyped up, prior. Like, I didn't, again, full disclosure, I don't watch college ball, so I had nothing to go on besides what I was hearing and all the hype that people were, saying about him. And he was very hyped up. Yeah, so he was very hyped up. So I was excited about it.
And LSU, I mean, at the time, LSU was a powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
They won a national championship, I do believe, as well that year. Did they not? So, so it was, and head coach was one of the big dogs that back then. I can't remember who it was. Who was? Anybody remember who the head coach was? LSU. Jamarcus Russell won the national championship. Anybody in the chat?
It was before my time, but just real quickly on that, Jamarcus Russell. You know what? You're not alone. I'm sure most of Raider Nation would have been happy about the pick at that time, with no hindsight, being that like we had the number one pick for a reason.
Yeah,
the worst team in the league,
exactly.
record-wise, right? So when you're a team
Les Miles
at that point, and there's you have to address the most important position of need. Like, unless it, like, granted, there was what would turn out to be a generational talent, and I don't throw that word lightly, with Calvin Johnson, and that's the guy that Coach Kiffin wanted at the time. Like, with Jamarcus Russell, like he was highly productive in college, and he was the best prospect from an athleticism standpoint and physical trait standpoint coming into the league at that time. You know what I mean? So, like, yes, we know how it panned out, but I can understand why they make the pick per se at the time.
Yeah.
Well, he was like, I mean, hell, he was like what, 6'5", 255,
could throw at the 60 yards off one
80 yards from his knees. But no one knew it was going to be so lazy. Just a lazy player.
That's the thing. No, but you couldn't measure that. You couldn't measure that.
That's what I love about, like, Pete Carroll and Spycheck and, like, the coaching staff now. It's like, we just want guys that want to play ball, that you're going to put effort in. There ain't no more Jamarcus Russells anymore coming to this team, at least for the next couple of years.
Actually, when I was talking to Sacktown yesterday, he brought up an interesting question. He asked me if, no matter what happens in the draft, independent of who we end up choosing, do we trust our current coaching staff or our current front office in the decisions that they make? Whether or not it's a surprise, no matter how it pans out, do we trust them? Do we trust that they made a good decision?
I do.
Well, we have to, you know what I mean? Like, until they prove otherwise. I mean, they have a track record. But just to your point, Jack, like, there's a lot more awareness to mental health now, more than there's ever been. Like, back then in 2008 and before that, you didn't really have that. Teams weren't really looking at that and like what's going on upstairs as extensively as they are now. You know what I'm saying? Like, go back to the 2000s. Nobody was talking about mental health. Nobody was talking about, like, all that can go wrong off the field, and, like, the whole, like, reach out, talk to people, and that. Like, it was just a shut up and play football type deal.
Yeah,
and
man up.
Shout out to Stu Schwaggart. He actually confirmed my theory, because you remember Stuart Schwaggart, the former
I do know Stu.
safety, right? And he's now, like, doing content, like much like we are now, I had a conversation with him, and I made that comment, and I said, "Well, look, you're a player. You were there around that time. Am I mistaken in believing that?" And he said, "No, you're 100% right. It was just shut up and play football type deal." You know what I'm saying? Like teams weren't really doing as much. They might have still been doing it, but not as much as they are now. So if we'd have done more extensive research with what was going on with his mentality and his work ethic, then maybe we may have gone the different direction. But shoulda, coulda, wouldas. But all I'm saying is, like, at the time, I can it's all good and great looking back at it now, being that how it turned out. But like, you got to put perspective in there. Like,
facts, man. That's facts. Right now, Milrow would have been like the number 1 draft pick back in those days, for sure.
True. Wow. Throws it out of the stadium, runs his ass off. Yeah, and that would have been like Vic era type deal. You know what I mean? Yeah. So but Money Chuck just threw something out there that I did not know, that I either that or I blocked it out of my mind. Marcus Russell. So we passed on Megatron, Adrian Peterson, Joe Thomas.
Thank you, Money Chuck, for hurting all the everyone.
Yeah, thanks for breaking our hearts, bro.
Yeah, thanks for rubbing it in.
Damn,
it's facts though.
Look at that though. I mean, Calvin Johnson's going to be a Hall of Famer, right? That's going to happen.
Shooing.
Obviously, first ballot's not going to happen for him because
Adrian Peterson as well,
right?
Adrian Peterson as well.
Adrian Peterson's going to get there too. Joe Thomas, I think,
he was a great player, but it might, because I guess it's not a position that's really like
right.
the sexy position.
Right.
But he was good. He was good.
Yeah.
But definitely Adrian Peterson, first ballot. Calvin Johnson, first ballot. Like, again, I don't throw this word out lightly, generational, but those two are generational players.
Generational. And Jamarcus Russell's what we took for the flashy pick.
Adrian Peterson would be up there in that top 3 conversation of the best running backs since the turn of the millennium. Period.
Well, he's already a top 5 as far as season totals. I mean, he had 2 2,000-yard seasons.
Right. In terms of overall, think since 2000, like, it's him, maybe LT, and who else? Who else would you have in that conversation?
Yeah, that's another conversation, I guess,
because
we're not talking. Because we're talking.
Yeah, we're not. Exactly.
Right.
Here I am being a hypocrite and contradicting
Joe Thomas
myself.
is in the Hall of Fame. Yep.
Right.
Joe Thomas is Hall of Famer. Yeah, I thought he might have already. Yep.
Okay, that's what's up.
So, yeah, cool. All right, so here's the other thing we were talking about before. I love everybody in here being interactive, man. I love it, and I want to keep you guys around. I want to mix it up every time I get on. I want to get some different folks on, that type of stuff, and just kind of mix it up. But you three, I definitely want you guys on anytime you're available. It has been a lot of fun. I want to be less interactive and just kind of more interactive to the chat if I can, and that type of thing. And you guys allow me to do that. That helps a lot because this is a handful. So, anything else in the chat you guys want to hear, or are we bailing out of here? It's up to you guys. We've been on an hour and a half. Up to you guys.
Out of here anyway.
You want to hang out? What are we doing? I mean, we can throw something else up there if you want. What you got? Money Chuck, what you got? I know you got something. Throw it out there. What's a good question? Come on, give us a good question.
Did Sacktown bounce out?
I'll say this. Tomorrow's tomorrow I got to go bang against all the AFC West teams on the Wild Wild West show. It's like Denver, KC, the Chargers. They're my friends from a friend from far and but not my friends. You know what I mean? So it's time to bang with them tomorrow night. We're going to do our one and only draft on tomorrow night. No trades. Check it out. And it's like I hope I can rep the Raider Nation proud, but I'm on a cell phone, so I don't have a computer like you guys have computers up in front of your screens. You can see stuff easily. I'm just on a cell. Man, all I know is I want to bang against these guys, dude. I want to fucking put those boys in their place.
Nice. Hey,
I'm all about that.
hey, AR, can you do me a favor?
What's up, man?
Your link to your channel. Go ahead and put it down there in the comments block, please, for anyone else.
I can't because I'm not a moderator, so only moderators can share out hyperlinks. But look, I'll just make it short and sweet because most of the people are already in the chat feed already. I see my feeds, but if you haven't, my name is Afakasi Raider, so I'll just put in a little comment. So, hello. Yeah. So you can see me. That's how you spell the name. So AFAKASI Raider. I've been doing this for a minute. For the last 3-4 years, I do my own content on my own channel. Talking Raider Ball, as well as doing some old school gaming. Shout out to my guy Raider Critique. We get together and we play some Tecmo Super Bowl. But it's all about supporting those who support you. And Jack, always appreciate sharing the panel with you. Sometimes we clash with our takes, but it's always good fun. Now, man, thank you for having me on. It's good to see you've gotten your channel up and running. I've noticed you in a few comment sections up to now. So hopefully see you around my side of town more than what I have been lately. So it'd be nice to
absolutely, sir.
Yeah, you already know what time it is. And Blue, it's the first time I've seen you around. I appreciate your perspectives. Like we agree on a lot of takes, so
thank you. Likewise,
I can dig. But it's been nice to share the panel with you and get your perspective, as well as have someone on the panel who's of the opposite sex and gives us a different perspective, right? Not that it matters, but I'm just saying.
I don't know, but
yeah, it's been pleasant, and I keep thinking your name's when I see your name Blue, I think of the singer, Blue Cantrell, back in the day.
Oh, yes. I do know who you're talking about.
I think she sings, what is it, Hit 'Em Up style? Yeah. I don't know. I think Blue Cantrell, Blue Richard.
She spells her name differently, though. Yeah. It's like the French way, I think, right? BLUE. BLEU.
Yeah. Could be. But I don't know. Yeah. Just something silly. But.
That's funny. No, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So I guess that means you need to explain your name now.
Me?
Because that's actually her name.
Yeah, I was named after the Dodgers.
Okay, that's what's up.
The LA Dodgers. Yeah, yep. My dad's like a whatever, man, whatever. Jack, don't make me come over there. Yeah, they won the World Series the year I was born, and my mom was actually in labor with me when they had beaten the Mets, I believe it was, to go to the World Series. Or not the Mets, was it the Expos? No, I don't know. They beat somebody, but the day I was born, yeah.
A lot of people beat the Mets to go to the World Series.
Well, there is that, but I'm just saying that particular year. Yes, Jack. Nobody's perfect. I still like you.
I like you too.
It's funny because my two best friends in this whole content creating scene, shout out to Raider Joe and On Six. Both those guys are diehard Raider fans like me, but
they're Dodger fans.
One's no. Hey, hang on a second, Jack. Only one's a Dodger fan. On's a Dodger fan, and Raider Joe is a
Giants fan.
San Fran hand, just like you.
Ew.
Mind you, I was trying to look for it. That's what I went to look for because I also got a Dodger black and white cap while I was vacating. So. Yeah, but anyways, look, I have to go because I've got a few things I need to situate. But thanks again for having me on the panel, guys. Hopefully, the next time we share it, it's because we're all happy about the draft, right? So,
there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. When I asked you guys your favorite draft memory, hopefully, years down the line, something that happens in this year's draft could be that for the right reasons, not for the wrong reasons. So,
that's right.
Anyways.
Right.
Avakazi Raider out. Go Raiders. All right. Peace, guys.
All right. See you, man.
Take care. Good job.
Hey, so for everyone, I'm going to pop off here because Jeff is on right now, and I want to get on his channel and support him as well. Okay. Awesome. So, hey, all you guys in the chat, thank you. You guys are freaking awesome. Love y'all. Much love. Raider Nation. I'm going to throw it out there. You ready?
Yep.
Raiders!
Raiders! Did we turn off
All right.
the...
I'm just gonna end stream. Stay put.
Okay.
See if the outro works.
All right, Mike. I'll talk to you in a bit.